How you doing, Team Up? And welcome back to another episode of Hard News with Murdock. Now, at this point, it's pretty ridiculous at how many candidates are still running in the presidential primary, because it's pretty obvious that the top three or top four at this point is going to come down to Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and Pete Buttigieg. Now, I might be surprised by the last person I mentioned, but the polls don't lie. He's been steadily climbing, and Americans have a long history of voting against their own self-interest and rooting for the person that will do absolutely nothing for them while they're in office.
You can do it! You can do it all night long!
So the only reason why I even watch the debates at this point is to see if anybody's going to be brave enough to call out any of the front runners on some of the BS in their past record, which is exactly what happened here. Take a look at this exchange between Cory Booker and Joe Biden for yourself.
I wanted to return back to this issue of black voters. I have a lifetime of experience with black voters. I've been one since I was 18. Nobody on this stage should need a focus group to hear from African-American voters. Black voters are pissed off, and they're worried. They're pissed off because the only time our issues seem to be really paid attention to by politicians is when people are looking for their vote. And they're worried because the Democratic Party, we don't want to see people miss this opportunity and lose because we are nominating someone that isn't trusted, doesn't have authentic connection. And so that's what's on the ballot, and issues do matter. I have a lot of respect for the vice president. He has sworn me into my office as a hero. This week, I hear him literally say that I don't think we should legalize marijuana. I thought you might have been high when you said it. and let me tell you, because marijuana in our country is already legal for privileged people, and the war on drugs has been a war on black and brown people. And so let me just say this. With more African Americans under criminal supervision in America than all the slaves since 1850, do not roll up into communities and not talk directly to issues that are going to relate to the liberation of children, because there are people in Congress right now that admit to smoking marijuana, while there are our kids are in jail right now for those drug crimes. And so these are the kind of issues that mean a lot to our community, and if we don't have somebody authentically, we lost the last election. Let me just give you this data example. We lost in Wisconsin because of a massive diminution, a lot of reasons, but there was a massive diminution in the African-American vote. We need to have someone that can inspire, as Kamala said, to inspire African-Americans to the polls at record numbers.
Thank you, Senator Booker. Vice President Biden, you can respond to that.
I'll be very brief. Number one, I think we should decriminalize marijuana, period. And I think anyone who has a record should be let out of jail. Their records expunged. It be completely zeroed out. But I do think it makes sense, based on data, that we should study what the long-term effects are for the use of marijuana. That's all it is. Number one, everybody gets out, record expunged. Secondly, I'm part of that Obama coalition. I come out of the black community in terms of my support. If you notice, I have more people supporting me in the black community that have announced for me because they know me. They know who I am. 3 former chairs of the Black Caucus, the only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate, a whole range of people.
No,
my point is,
that's not true. The other one is here.
I said the first. I said the first African-American elected. The first African-American. So my point is...
The lob for Gordon. Oh, he styles it up. That's her everyday lob.
Yo, they lucky those cameras is on in that room, because Joe Biden gave Cory Booker that expression like he was about to do something to him for real.
My mama dead. Now I got to cut you. That's the rule. Cut you.
But all kidding aside, this shows the flaws to me as far as for him going up against Trump. Because if he having problems against the Democrats, imagine what it's going to be like when he goes up against Trump. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't saying that I wouldn't vote for the man. Once again, anybody would be better than the orange savage in chief that we currently have in office right now. But for me personally, I feel like we're all on this bus called America, And I don't want to be forced to have to vote for another auto to steer us down the road for another 4 years before we crash off a bridge or something crazy, all right? I don't want to have to be forced to make that choice, and neither should you. And with that, that's all I have. Like, subscribe if you like what you see. Remember, the revolution is unclassified. Later.